Welcome everybody to Eastern Europe. We are here for the Hungarian Grand Prix at the Hungaroring in Budapest for round 12 of the season, the 14th Hungarian GP on the OC calendar, the 7th of 9 tracks that have been on the OC calendar every season. The circuit is nicknamed by many as Monaco without the barriers, as it's difficult to overtake. The track located in Magyarország, so apologies for the Hungarians for butchering the pronunciation there, and 17th having won here over the past 14 seasons. 70 laps, a circuit length of 4.381 kilometers, 14 corners. That record set by Florian Volker all the way back in 2009, although that record is surely going to be taken away today with how fast today's cars are. It's amazing actually how many records from 2009 are still active. Previous 4 winners here have included Jay Mackenzie in 2015 and 2016, Winner winning here in 2017, and Joseph Willows winning here last season. Now, in the last race, it was the Hungarian Michael Gal that took victory, having beaten Franco Lopez narrowly in a good strategic battle. The tyres in this race will be the medium tyres, so that should be interesting around this track. 3 practice results on the screen as you can see. Franco Lopez and Amar Carr 1-2 for Mercedes, Rob Patel 3rd, Laura Chung, Julius Anderson, Catalan, Mojin, Gal, Willows and Curtis complete the top 10. There's a number of test drivers there. That was practice. Now this is qualifying. The starting grid for the Hungarian Grand Prix, and it is Joseph Willows who took pole position, beating Amar Carr for Mercedes by a 10th, and it was a good performance for Willows as well, getting his 1:14, so decimating that record by 3 seconds. Franco Gamba 3rd with Laura Chung alongside in the Ferrari. On row 3 of the grid, we have Franco Lopez, not the best qualifier from him, unusually, for Mercedes, with Paulino Tomaselli, another great performance by him, 7th for McLaren. Kirosova de Rossi and the other McLaren 7th, with Miguel Gal, the home favourites, only down in 8th position. On the 5th row of the grid, we have Jay Mackenzie for Renault, and David Kupok for Toro Rosso. On row 6 of the grid, we have Matteo Catalan for Toro Rosso and Chris Chatfield for Haas. Good qualifying by Chatfield, qualifying by Haas as well. On 13th place is George Hope for Racing Point and Evan Byrne 14th for Renault. Of course, these two have had positions in the past, so they don't have it this week. 15th position, Roland Moichin after a 5-place group penalty from the last round in Germany, so he was originally 10th. Jared Fosbury 16th alongside him. Gabriel Gomez 17th for Alfa Romeo, with Rosetta Martez 18th for Manor. On row 10 of the grid, we have Maxime Titkov for Manor and Andrea Federi 20th for Alfa Romeo. And of course, on the last row of the grid, we have the 2 Williams cars of Lean Campana and Felix Sontag. So that was the grid for the Grand Prix. And the first team news, of course, of the week is here. And there is one bit of surprise in team news, and the rest of them all as to be expected. I'm not sure if you can tell what one is different. Let me look. Oh yes, Joseph Willows will leave Ferrari to join McLaren, and that is a big surprise. Miguel Gal will remain at Red Bull, Franco Lopez and Carr remaining at Mercedes, and Moichin and Rope remaining at Racing Point. So Willows, having left Ferrari after a number of seasons, to go to McLaren, something different for next year, the final year before the fantasy era begins. The track will be dry, it'll be a sunny race, no chance of rain. No surprise here in Hungary, it usually always is very warm and dry. So we are now on the grid, 70 laps here around Monaco without the barriers, as the 5 lights are now coming on here in Hungary, as the 5 lights are now on. And are we going to get underway? We are going to get underway right about now. And Willows has made a decent launch off the line. I think he's going to edge Carr as they head towards the first corner. Looks to be in the lead. And of course, I forget Red Bull in their special liveried car for this weekend. But Willows does take the lead to head towards turn 1. But Lopez on the inside of Chung. And I think Lopez has gained 2 positions already at the start, up to 3rd position. So what a start by Lopez. And oh, there's already contact at the first corner. And it is Jared Fosbury who is out of the race. And he's not even got past the first corner yet. So let's see what happened to the Haas driver. So we're on board with him. He was in 15th. And he's behind the Racing Point there. And he gets hit from behind. I'm not sure by who. I don't know if it was was it Moichin in the Racing Point that hit him? We're looking at the replay of him coming towards the first corner. There's Gabriel Gomez alongside him. Was it Moichin that hit him? And no, in fact it wasn't. It was actually the Alfa Romeo there. Or I think that was actually Gabriel Gomez that hits him. Now we're on board with Maxime Titkov, who got a good view of everything. Did he get involved in this? And well, the answer is no, but he went into the back of the Racing Point there of Roland Moichin. So Moichin did get damage from that. So now we're on board with Franco Lopez, who originally actually got beaten off the line by Tomaselli alongside him. And he's got Chung and Gama in front of him, and then just dives to the inside, catches them both unawares, and Lopez comfortably takes 3rd position there. Great overtake there by the Argentinian. So now he's already on the back of Carr, and Willows for the lead. So now on to lap 2, and Lopez already on the back of Carr as Willows sets the fastest lap of the race, and Lopez side by side with his teammate as they head towards the first corner. Lopez on the inside, and that's P2, very easily done. And now, meanwhile, there's battles. The two McLarens trying to overtake, and I think Tomaselli has overtaken Gamma into the first corner. He has, and Gamma down to 7, and that was De Rossa, sorry. So Tomaselli on the back of Chung, and De Rossa moving up to 6th place past Gamma, and Miklas Gau in 8th position, not start the two Red Bulls in their livery would like. So as we look through, Willer's leading. Lopez is going to be on the back of him soon. Tomaselli and De Rossa, well, so I think De Rossa's on heavier fuel than Tomaselli is. It's hence why Tomaselli is so quick. So he's right behind the Ferrari of Chung, heading through the chicane. And De Rossa's still got the two Red Bulls all over the back of him. They come through the tight, twisty section of this bit. This is definitely the Monaco bit. You cannot overtake here at all in this bit. But Tomaselli all over the back of Laura Chung. And now he's going to make a move. And actually, Lopez is already on the back of Willows, actually, as they're heading towards the end of lap 2. So Lopez might make a move on the front straight here if he's close enough. And he looks to be on the pace. He's got lighter fuel than what Willows had. Willows definitely had a heavier fuel load than Lopez, that is for sure. So as Lopez is now coming onto the front straight, he's in the slipstream of Willows, and this is going to be an overtake surely as they head towards the first corner. Lopez setting the fastest lap at 15.7 as they head towards turn 1. The lap record already being taken away on lap 3. And Lopez on the inside, and he takes the lead of the Hungarian Grand Prix. Meanwhile, I think Tomaselli has moved past Chung for 4th position behind, if you can see, and yes, he has. So Tomaselli is past Chung for 4th place. Meanwhile, De Rossa, I think, has been passed, or repassed, I should say, by Gamma for 6th there. And so now Gal will try and look and get an opportunity to get past De Rossa now as well. As we look through the rest of the order, Burns moved up 4 places. He's made a good start. There's a big gaggle of cars here in the mid-pack, as there's Moitin and Gomez at the back. But for Lopez, it's exactly the start that he needs, currently beating his main title rival, Joseph Willis, of course. Lopez, who just missed out on the win last time out in Germany. But of course, he would have finished 2nd, but he made that mistake late on, which allowed, I'm pretty sure it was Willows to finish 2nd, actually. So 3rd last time out. As meanwhile, Catalan going wide and getting up on 2 wheels there, coming through the chicane. Haven't seen many people doing that before, but Catalan, I think, has got a huge fuel load, so no wonder he's struggling Q-Pop, trying to make a move into the chicane, which is very rarely done. You can see, look at that, Catalan going on 2 wheels there over that heavy curb, and seeing on board from Catalan's point of view. And it's amazing, sometimes the cars can get damaged from that, but Catalan amazingly actually didn't. A hefty landing as well, but he gets away with it. But now Q-Pop, now on the inside of him, heading towards the first corner. And this should be a comfortable move for P12. Meanwhile, behind, the Manor is passing, that's Martez passing George Roque into the first corner. And Martez moves up to 14th, so good move there by him. Catalan, of course, having been overtaken by Q-Pop. And now we'll have Martez on the back, and of course he's going to struggle. But Q-Pop actually has got heavy fuel as well, only a little bit less than what Catalan has. As Roque trying to get back past Martez there. Not quite going to work for him there, but that was the onboard of Roque being overtaken by Martez. So not quite the race that Roque would have been wanting to have, having just been announced to stay at Racing Point for another season for 2020. But he was overtaken there by Martez. Got a good run though through turn 2 and tried to make it back through coming through turn 3, but not really on. It was very close to contact there. You can see just about getting away with it there. Meanwhile, Tomaselli on his light fuel load is on the back of Amarcar as they head towards the first corner, and surely this is going to be an easy move for Tomaselli on light fuel, and he is past Amarcar. So great start by Paulino Tomaselli up into 3rd position. Meanwhile, Gamba is now on the back of Laura Chung for P5. Byrne actually is down to P11. So who's he been overtaken by? I think he might have been overtaken by Chatfield, I believe. I think it's Chatfield he's been overtaken by as we're looking through. And yes, it is Chris Chatfield actually who's made a good start. Meanwhile, Martez has got past Catalan into the first corner. So he's now up into 13th position. And so now Roque will try and look to make a move. But Lopez has checked out absolutely checked out up front. And so I don't know what the gap is, but he's nowhere to be seen. Not anywhere close to Willows. So as we look now, this is at Gal, who's stuck in 8th place, trying to get past the McLaren of De Rossa. So coming through the middle sector of the lap. And so as now it comes through the fast right-hander, if he can get a good run, he can make a move into the next corner if he's close enough. Meanwhile, Gamma trying it on Chung, but failing. Gone in a situation, but just not enough to get through there. And see, Lopez has already got round the final corner. Willis has not even got round the final corner yet. So what is the gap? It must be at least 5 seconds. And Lopez has a 15.2. So he's now 5 seconds ahead of Willis. He only got past him like about 3 laps ago, and he's already got 5 seconds on it. Well, 5.6 now. So he's got improved, I think, 6/10 in that sector alone. Meanwhile, Gamma now on the inside of Chung, and now Gal desperately trying to get through on the inside of De Rossa, and Gamba failed to get on the inside and pass the Ferrari there of Chung. So he's going to have to wait another lap or so to make a move. So now as we look at Chatfield, who's up into 9th position, but Mackenzie down to 11th, and Roke still struggling to get past Catalan coming through turn 1 there. Will he try it round turn 2? Will be the next question. He's in the slipstream of the Italian. He's going to try and go around the outside. The answer is no, as Catalan is really struggling at the moment on that heavy fuel load. Not going to be a very easy race for him, that's for sure, and particularly the fact it's going to be dry as well. He is going to struggle, that is for sure. So as we look at Tomaselli, who's clear of Carl, and there's Gamba on the back of Chung, and of course Gal, who's finally passed De Rossa for 7th. So this is what happened actually too. So Chatfield actually got past Mackenzie there for 9th, and Byrne got past Mackenzie as well down the front straight. So that explained why Mackenzie dropped 2 positions there. But Byrne up into 10th once again. Here is Gomez and Moichi battling for 19th position. And so it's going to try and make a move in the next corner. I'm not sure. Catalan coming through the fast right hand. He goes a little bit wide over the curb. He locks up. And Roke, I think, is going to get through. And I think Federi's going to try to get through as well. He's on the inside. And yes, Federi is through. And will the Williams of Capano try and get through as well? No, he can't. But Catalan has said he's going to have a very, very tough race. And yeah, I don't really see him being able to get any points in this race if things keep going like they are. He's so slow, it's unbelievable. So Tomaselli actually, it looks like he is probably gaining on Willows in front of him. So meanwhile, of course, now Gamba's still unable to get past Chung, and Gal is now going to be right there. So I wonder if there'll be any tactics from Red Bull here. Gap Willows to Lopez. I'm pretty sure a lap ago was about wasn't it like 6 seconds, and it's now 8. And oh, Matteo Catalan. Well, he's out of the race, so he ain't going to struggle anymore. So that is his race over on lap 7 of the race. But I'm pretty sure that Lopez has just gone 1 second quicker over that last lap to get ahead of Willows even further there. So wow, that's quite something. But Catalan, who had obviously been passed by Federi and Roke, and then coming through the first corner, and of course then the car failed on him. Probably something to do with the fuel as well, considering how much he had, and so it probably had a big effect on his system. So he retires. That is the second retirement of the Hungarian Grand Prix. Now, meanwhile, we're looking at Paolino Tomaselli, who's now on the back of Joseph Willows. This is for second position. And Tomaselli going to try and make a move in the first corner. Willows not going to let him through easy as they come through the corner. And so he's unable to make it stick there. Meanwhile, Gao now on the inside of Chung. So I think Gamma has now finally got past Laura Chung. And meanwhile, Chatfield has just got past De Rossa for 8th position, but he's pitting this lap, so it looks like he's going to be on the 3-stop strategy. So as we look at Gamba coming through in 5th, so now this is the on-board of Gamba getting past Chung. Was there any contact made, or did Chung outbrake herself? And it looks like, yep, Chung outbroke herself, and so lost the position there to Gamba. And you can see the lock up there, the smoke, and so Gamba said thank you very much, and finally is through. So now Chris Chatfield in for his first pit stop of the race for Haas. So far, had a pretty solid race, got up to 8th position, so you can't really ask for more than that so far. So where would he come out on track is going to be the big question, and the gap actually... Is that 15 seconds, that is? I think the gap is 15 seconds, Lopez to Willows. That is quite an unbelievable gap so far. And so looking at Masters in 12th, there's Roke in 13th, Federi 14th. I think Tomaselli it was. That's what pitting, yes it is. Tomaselli is going to pit this lap for McLaren, so of course had a solid first stint so far, getting all the way up to 3rd on the back of Willows. And so Willows will be relieved he'll finally be clear of Tomaselli. Not before Tomaselli tries to make a move on the inside of him, but is unable to make it stick, so Willows will hold it, because of course Tomaselli, after the next corner, will go and jolt right into the pits. So, and there we go, Tomaselli now goes into the pits, and here we are. And into the pits he must go. So, he comes in, so it's going to be a 3-stop clearly for Tomaselli. Good stint so far. And let's see where he comes out on the circuit. Meanwhile, I think that was Federi is coming into the pits this lap as well. Meanwhile, Gao now finally trying to make an overtake on Laura Chung into the first corner, but still unable to make it stick, and De Rossa is still there, although De Rossa is struggling a little bit for grip there. So Tomaselli now comes out of the pits, and he comes out in 11th, or is it going to be 12th? I think Martin's gone over the line, so I think it will be 12th, and yes, it will be 12th. He comes up behind the Filipino, but he'll come out ahead of George Roke in the Racing Point. Meanwhile, this is Gao once again on the back of Laura Chung, going to try and make a move into the first corner. Hungarian fans will be behind him. And now here we go. Gal trying to make a move on the inside of Chung as they come into the first corner. No, there's a little bit of contact there, I think, between the two. And Gal's still unable to make the move stick. And De Rossi is still there. And now so is the Renault of Evan Byrne. And so Chung really struggling at the moment. Gal all over the back of him, but still unable to make the move. And meanwhile, Byrne is all over the back of De Rossi behind. Meanwhile, we're looking at Amarcar running on his own in third at the moment, about 1.8 seconds off of Willows in second. De Rossi still, you can see, all over the place. Oh, he goes a little bit wide there and loses the place to Byrne, so Byrne moves up into 7th there. So it's clear to see from the last few laps that De Rossi has been struggling. Meanwhile, Gal struggling himself to get past Laura Chung, who once again does a bit of a lock-up there around the same corner. But Gal's still not able to make it through, so they'll have to wait until the front straight, of course. Meanwhile, Franco Lopez now comes into the pits for his first stop of the race for Mercedes. And it's been a totally and utterly dominant performance from him so far, taking the lead from Joseph Willows on the start of lap 3 and has never looked back. I've no idea what the gap is between the two, but it was definitely a huge amount. So Lopez comes out, and what's the stop there? I think that was 6.3 seconds that was. So Willows has still not even come across the line yet. So is Lopez going to come out ahead of Joseph Willows after his stop? And I think he is. So wow, Lopez has got an unbelievable gap to Joseph Willows after that, before that first stop. So that pace from Lopez is absolutely insane. So meanwhile, we're looking at, once again, this is actually Gabba, who's caught up to the back of Carr, but he's going to be pitting this lap, so he might have a good chance of an undercut here on Amarcar. But Lopez, 11 seconds clear of Willows, and he's just pitted as well. And it's now up to 13 because Lopez is on fresher tyres now, so that is quite incredible. Lopez already over a pit stop ahead and look at that, 14.7. That's unbelievable. That is just ridiculous. Someone needs to check his. Someone needs to check if he's had what fluids he's had and what fluids he's drunk. Really, because that is just ridiculous. A 14.7 in the race as well. So that's let's just say the lap record has been broken. Let's just say that. But we're looking at Franco Gamba in their freshly liveried Red Bull coming into the pits for his first stop. It looks like it's going to be a 2-stop. Meanwhile, Gal might finally be past Chung in the first corner. And oh, no, he won't. He won't. Well, he has now, but unfortunately, it won't be for... Oh, no, Gal is still in. I thought he was out. Well, he's still in. He's past Chung, but eliminated her from the race. And now Gal is going to have to pit. He was going to pit soon anyway. Oh, no, he won't. He won't pit anymore. And so Gal is out. The home favourite is out, and the Hungarian fans will be fuming from that. But it just wasn't Gal's race. It wasn't his weekend, really. So Gal is now out. Laura Chung is out. So that is 2 more retirements from this race. And, of course, this is at Turn 2 where we've seen numerous instances here before. And so the marshal now pushing away Gal's car. But you could see that instance at Turn 1. If you haven't watched qualifying as well from this weekend, it was chaos. I'm pretty sure there was a crash in every qualifying session at Turn 1. I think at Turn 2, actually. But at Turn 1, it was ridiculous. What was going on. At Turn 2 we've now had crashes in the race where we've had them before, so it's not really a huge surprise. Meanwhile, De Rossi, obviously with damage, is going to be pitting this lap. And that's good news for Evan Byrne, actually. He's got through that unscathed, so he's gained a few positions from that. Meanwhile, McKenzie going very wide there with Gamba right behind, with Tomaselli and Gamba right behind. So as they come around to the final corner, McKenzie, I think it's going to be on the one side by looking at his fuelers. Meanwhile, there goes De Rossi into the pits there. So as we look now at the McLaren of Tomaselli on the inside of McKenzie, and he's going to make the move stick. No, but the Red Bull might make a move around the outside if he's not careful. But no, not quite. Shuts the door on him. Meanwhile, Chatfield in the slipstream there of him as Tomaselli trying to make a move past McKenzie, but unable to make it here. Coming through turn 2, he's going to try around the outside. He's going to have a better run on fresher tyres. McKenzie's there and very nearly swipes off his nose. Unfortunately, no harm done, but Gamba is there as well, so need to be careful here. But as I said, Evan Byrne is actually clear of this lot, which is good news for him. Meanwhile, Lopez is 21 seconds, nearly a pit stop ahead of Willows already, and Willows has still not even made his first stop yet. So that is so far dominance from Lopez up front. To say the least, but meanwhile we're still looking at this battle as Chris Chatfield actually now is coming into this group of McKenzie, Tomaselli, Gamba and Chatfield to this gap of trying to get past the pole in Hungary, as now Tomasini trying to make a move on the inside. Can he make it stick here? No, but Mackenzie goes very wide. Can Tomasini make it through now? No, not quite. Mackenzie's still holding him off, and so Gamba's going to have to wait as well as they come through the penultimate corner, now through the final corner, through the right hand. As long as they stick in the slipstream on Mackenzie, they should make a move on the front straight. And now here we go. They're on the front straight right now, and Tomasini is now on the inside of the Renault of Jay Mackenzie. They head towards the first corner. Meanwhile, Chatfield actually, I think, is passing Gamba into the first corner. He's going to go for it, and Chatfield has passed Gamba for 7th position. So Frank Gamba has lost out big time there. But a great move from Chris Chatfield, and he's having a good race so far. Meanwhile, Tomasini once again going to try and have a go at Mackenzie. Still stuck behind him laps later. And now Willie trying to make it through here. Mackenzie's gone wide. Surely this is the chance. And yes, finally he's through. And Chatfield can't quite follow him through either because Mackenzie closed the door on him. There's now a big gaggle of cars. Videri is now into this, and so is George Roque actually. Although I think Videri is going into the pits, so Videri is no longer in it. But Roque can close up to this gaggle of cars as well. And I don't believe Roque is actually pitted yet either. Meanwhile, Chatfield going to now try and make a move on the inside of Mackenzie, coming towards the first corner. He's now on the inside of the Renault, and this should be an easy move. And yep, he is through. And can Gamba finally force his way through? No, he's not got the run off the corner. But yeah, so there we go. As now we look at Franco Gamba in the Renault coming through there. Now all over the back of the pole. And so he's not going to make a move coming through the left-hander here, but he's going to stick right behind him. Meanwhile, Lopez is lapping the Williams here, or at least he tried to there. But as we look now at his teammate Armand Carr, meanwhile George Roque is in the pits for Racing Point for his first stop of the race. Meanwhile, we're looking at Mackenzie coming into the first corner. And still no one has overtaken him. Gamba's still not got past him yet, but he's still got a long way to go. I'm pretty certain Mackenzie has not pitted yet. But actually, speaking of pitting, obviously Roque was in the pits, as we said. And Lean Campana is in the pits as well for Williams. But Lopez at the moment is so far clear of anyone else. I would love to see the gaps for Dairies now on the back of Renault Moises to come into the first corner. And oh, there's a bit of contact between the two. And Videri has managed to sneak his way through. And now Roque, who's just come out of the pits, I think, has come up behind Videri. And but actually, the Videri was in front anyway. As the two Racing Points coming close together, coming through turn 2. And nearly contact again. And I really brick it every time they come through turn 3 there. They've come close numerous times for a collision. Meanwhile, there's a few pit calls. Evan Byrne is in. I believe Willow's the pick was for him, and whoa! Gamba launches it down the inside, nearly contact, but finally makes it through. As Lopez is already about to lap these guys, and we're not even halfway through the race yet. 40 seconds the gap is from him to Willow. That's unbelievable. That's stunning, really. As Gamba finally makes it through past Mackenzie, he lost a ton of time in doing so, but has finally done it at least. But at the cost of possibly getting a better result from this race, because he's struggling so far now. Meanwhile, Lopez is set to lap Mackenzie coming through onto the front straight there. There's a pit call, I think that is for Roland Moichin, I think. His teammate, who, yep, is coming in on this lap. So as you look at Willows, who is actually pitting as well, so Lopez is going to be about a minute clear, well, over a minute clear, by the time he goes into the pits here, so that is just quite incredible. That's just incredible, really. Evan Byrne is in, as we said, so Tomasini is in 4th. Chatfield is up into 5th. So at the moment, Willows and Carr, who have not pitted yet, although Willows is about to. I don't know about Carr. I wonder if he's coming in the same lap. We'll find out in a minute. So we're looking at Joseph Willows, who is now coming in for his first stop of the race. Moichin is in, as we said before. So Willows is in. So the question is actually, is Carr in? And Carr's not made a stop yet. So unless he's going to go maybe one lap longer to try and undercut Willows, maybe. We'll see. But as Willows is in, and Carr, I think has he gone past? No, I don't think he has. And no, Carr's in the same lap actually. Moichin comes out in 16th. Willows comes out of the pits as well, and he'll come still ahead of Carr. Carr does a slightly better stop than Willows, but it doesn't matter. Ferrari still comfortably ahead there, or Willows still comfortably ahead. So as they come out of the pit exit, and the positions will remain the same as long as Carr gets ahead of Tomasini, which I think he will, just about. And he does, so Tomasini is going to be pitting in a few laps' time anyway. Meanwhile, we're looking at Evan Byrne, who's on the back of Franco Gamba here. He's on the 2-stopper, which I think is probably a better way to go than the 3-stopper, really. Burn is on the inside of Gamma. This is going to be a very easy move for him, and he moves up into 6th position. So good move there by, yeah, good move by him there. So now De Rossa, meanwhile, passing Mackenzie up the inside. That is for 8th position. So as we look at the back of Mackenzie, who is that he's not pitting for a while yet, and he's clearly doing the one stuff, and it's not really doing him any favours. Let's say that. But as we look at obviously the top cars 2 to 4, I mean, I was nearly called them the top 3 because Lopez is just on another planet. He's already in Belgium at this point. He's just that far ahead of everyone else. But yeah, it's just been an unbelievable performance so far from Lopez. So we look now at Mackenzie in 9th position, trying to get through and trying to just stay on track. He's got David Kupok for company soon, coming up behind him. So as we look at him coming through the right-hander there, and now heading towards the final sector of the circuit, but he's got Kupok who's closing right off the back of him, while Lopez is now finally in almost a minute and 10 seconds ahead of the front, well, of everyone else really. He's lapped most of the field as well, although some of them will get back on the lead lap now the fact that Lopez has pitted. So into the pits he comes, and so he's doing one more stop, and I think Lopez was on the 3 stop, so Lopez pitted fairly early, so it looks like he's going to be doing 3 stops. He's not going to the end on this stint as Kupok. Now goes down the inside of Mackenzie for 9th position there, and he makes the move. So he's up into 9th position is David Kupok, so good move there by him on the very weak Mackenzie. So the gap's still 68 per second, but it's going to go down by about 20 seconds now that Lopez has come out of the pits, but he's in clear air once again. We've got a yellow flag on the circuit, and it's Felix Sontag who is out of the race, and he was running very low down the order. I think he was running in about last position actually, but he will be getting nothing from the race. He won't be finishing. His engine has gone, so that is his race over and done with here at the Hungarian Grand Prix. And so as we look at the cars going past him, as the marshal is going to push him off when he comes out in a minute, as we see the other marshal waving the yellow flag. They're ensuring that the cars do not overtake under yellow flag conditions, as now the marshal finally coming to remove Sontag's car, and it was, of course, as I said, an engine failure. So that happened there, as you can see. It's running in 17th, which was well, essentially almost right. It was essentially right at the back. Meanwhile, Tomaselli comes in for his second stop. He'll be doing a 3-stopper as well. So where does he come out on the circuit in comparison with everybody else is going to be the big question. And we now look, speaking of Tomaselli, he's now on the back of Mackenzie, still yet to stop as they head towards the first corner, and this should be a pretty simple move for Tomaselli. He's now on the inside, and yep, Mackenzie just gives it to him there, pretty simple. So he's now up into 9th position, Mackenzie in 10th. Meanwhile, this is George Roque trying to pass Rosetta Martinez for 11th coming into the first corner. Roque on the inside. Oh no, there's contact, and Martinez is out, and I'm not sure if Roque's out or not. Well, he's stuck behind Martinez's car, and no, I think his wheel's still attached, Roque, so he's still going. Just about if he can get through Martinez's car, which he finally can. So Martinez, unfortunately, was having a decent race. Unfortunately, is going to get nothing. Roque, meanwhile, does rejoin, but probably his chance of points is going to be nothing. Wait, did I just... no, that was Martinez that was just out there. I thought it said Mackenzie for some reason. But George Roque is going to have to pit for a new front wing. And unfortunately, Martinez is now out. So as you look at Roque coming towards turn 4 there. And so we look through the order, look at all the cars going through. Blue flag's out. The car coming in the pits. Chatfield is coming into the pits. We've got another yellow flag out the on track, I should say. And I don't know what that is. Just after, that's at turn 4 actually. Oh, and Roque is now out. Well, he wasn't getting any points before. He certainly isn't now, and it was from his own teammates. That is some way to congratulate retaining your seats for next season. And I suppose, well, you're probably unlucky that you got caught out there by Roque going so slowly, but unfortunately, it's ruined. Roque's race is ruined, and Moyton has ruined it. Well, he's ruined his own as well. So Roque is out, and Moyton is going to have to pit as well. So 2 retirements there, and almost a deja vu moment, you could say as well. Meanwhile, we are looking at the battle at 4P4. This is, I think that was Franco Gamba and Evan Byrne. 4P4 on the circuit there, as Roque's car now finally getting pushed away. His race, of course, is over. Meanwhile, Franco Lopez out in the lead and just so far clear everyone else. Carr, I mean, is only just about ending the first sector there. Meanwhile, Tomaselli is now passing David Kupok for 7th position, heading towards the first corner. He's on the inside of the Toro Rosso, and he's through. So a good move there by him. So he's up into 7th, so now he's got his teammate De Rossa in front of him, who I don't know if he's going to the end or not. I'm not entirely sure, actually. I have to see. Meanwhile, we're looking at Chris Chatfield, who's passing McKenzie, who I still don't believe has actually pitted yet from this race. And Chatfield on the inside of McKenzie is now up into a 9th position, and the gap willows as Lopez is about 50 seconds. And this is Lopez who's lapping the Renault. This is, I believe, of Evan Byrne. And so Byrne, I think, is running in the top 4. So I think Lopez has actually lapped the entire field apart from the top 2 cars behind him, Willows and Carr, I believe. And Willows is only just about coming around finishing the lap now. As actually, there was a Renault coming in the pits there. I'm pretty sure it was Byrne. Actually, Lopez makes a slight mistake there, actually. Makes a slight error. And, well, fortunately, it doesn't do him any harm. As he... well, good news for the guys behind. It means they can gain on him slightly. They can gain a little bit of time on him with that mistake from Lopez, but it won't matter really. Meanwhile, this is the battle between the two McLarens. This is Tomaselli versus De Rossa as they're coming towards the first corner. Tomaselli on the inside of his teammate. Will he make a move? And yes, he will. So he moves up into 6th position. Does Tomaselli, and they both have to pit actually. So that was a legitimate battle, although probably team orders may or may not have come into effect there. But meanwhile, we look at De Rossa, of course, behind now his teammate Tomaselli. Meanwhile, McKenzie has finally come in for his first and only stop, so he did 46 laps on that set of tires. That is just quite insane, really. The team would put him on such a long strategy, I guess you could say. So we're looking now at Renault behind the Alfa Romeo here. This is of Gabriel Gomez. So they're about to be lapped as well. Meanwhile, Omar Carr is on the back of this Renault here, about to lap it. So we're looking at Franco Lopez, who with 21 laps to go is leading. Who would have thought? Meanwhile, Moitin trying to make a move on the inside of Gomez into the first corner. And I think he's through. And yes, he is. He's up into 30th position. So he's up there. Although Gomez might try and attack back. Possibly. Yes. No, I don't think he will. So he relinquishes the position to him. Meanwhile, we're looking at that was the Renault of McKenzie. We're looking at Tomaselli. There's De Rossa, and Chatfield all over the back of De Rossa, and now past De Rossa up into 7th position. So good move there by Chatfield, who, as said, Chatfield has had a pretty good race so far. He's had a very, very good race, performed very well, and I think he's on the 3-stop as well. So the 3-stop for some is actually working today. For Byrne as well, he's running in the top 4, so you can't really ask much more of him than that. So meanwhile, we're looking at Lopez, who's pitting once more. He was on the 3. Let's not forget, he's on the 3-stop as well, Lopez, and he's made it work to perfection. Meanwhile, McKenzie is trying to unlap himself past Willows here as they head towards turn 1, and very close between the two. And I don't think Willows will be too pleased with that one, to say the least. Meanwhile, Omar Carr still a little bit off Willows in 3rd. I think he's quite got the pace to. Well, he could still jump in the stops, maybe, but he's not got the pace on track to do so. And Lopez, minute and 8 seconds ahead, and Carr's actually about a minute and 12 ahead. I mean, Lopez could actually possibly lap the entire field here. That is entirely possible for Lopez, and that's not happened for donkey's years. And it's been just some beatdown, to quote your favourite Irishman, so far this race. So a pit call as well, actually, for Joseph Willows. So he is going to be lapped by Lopez. So that would mean that the entire field, apart from his teammates, would be lapped at this point. But I think Carr is going to be lapped soon anyway. But Willows is going to have it in the pits. So as you look at it, look on board with the Brits as he heads towards the pits. He jolts right, stays in the right-hand lane, and then will go into the pits right now. But yeah, it's just been total, utter dominance up front from Franco Lopez. So as you look at Willows coming into the pits for his final stop of the race, and now he has been officially lapped by Franco Lopez. Omar Carr is now in second, 1-2 for Mercedes, but of course Carr is pitting once more before the end. So as we look at Willows now coming out of the pits, and let's have a look. So he's coming out in P3, of course. Well, yeah, Burn's not anywhere near him, so Mojin just goes past him there. Burn in P4, actually not that far away from Willows, actually, really. So I don't know where Carr is, but Lopez probably not too far off Carr. Meanwhile, Tomaselli coming in for a final stop as well. So we look through the front two, and actually Carr is going to pit. So yes, Lopez is going to lap both Carr and Willows. So that would mean that Lopez will have officially lapped the entire field. I mean, Lopez will have to pit once more as well. And I mean, I wonder, he wasn't that far off both of those two. So once he goes in, he'll probably lap them again, essentially. But we look at Carr anyway, coming towards the end of the lap and about to go to the pits for the final time, and so unless he's had an amazing lap, I'm not sure if he's going to be able to outdo Willows, because a 1-2 from Mercedes, of course, would do very well in the Constructors' Championship, of course. But as we look at Carr, who comes in to the pits for the final time, and I think Lopez is going to come in probably about a lap or so. But now Lopez, of course, has officially lapped him. So now the whole entire field has been lapped. There you go. So the team changed all 4 tyres for him, and a pretty quick stop. I think that was relatively quick, 6.8 seconds. Watching going by there, Willows in second, so Carr is way off Willows at the moment, but he can easily close up. But actually, I think Evan Byrne might actually get out in front at the moment, and this could be close. And yes, so even though Byrne will have to pit, but unfortunately for Carr, any chance he's got of trying to get Willows is going to be disrupted by Byrne. Meanwhile, Lopez is pitting for the final time actually as well. But this is not what Carr would have wanted, having Byrne come out in front of him, or have been coming up behind Byrne, I should say. But I think Carr should overtake Byrne pretty quickly on the front straight. And so as we look at Carr trying to make the move on the inside of Byrne, he's just not quite close enough. He just can't quite do it there. Not got the speed compared to the engine there on the Renault. So he's going to have to wait another lap or so, because he's not even close enough to make it into turn 2. And he certainly is going to do it into turn 3 from here. He's not, definitely not close enough. And so he's still going to try it though. It was very close there. He's all over the back of him. So Willows again second. Lopez obviously has come out behind Willows, but he's definitely going to lap him, because he's so nearly so close to being lapped. So it's been an unbelievable performance. Meanwhile, Gamba on the back of David Kupok. This is for P8, and Gamba going to try and make a move on the inside of Kupok into the first corner if he's close enough. He's not quite close enough here, and Kupok going to keep it. Looks like Gamba's just not got the speed there to get past him. But as we look at Lopez, who at the moment is just comfortably in P1, and Carr trying to make it on the inside of Byrne there, but unable to do so, and that's good news, as I said, for Joseph Willows. It means he can extend the gap ahead of Carr for P3, because of course, let's not forget, Byrne does have to pit one more time, and he pits right now. So Byrne will go in, and he will drop down to P4, and I think that's where he'll stay actually, because I don't think Chatfield actually is going to be close enough to him. So as we look at Mojin coming through the first corner, they're getting lapped, of course. Byrne obviously in the pits. Gomez is in the pits as well. He's down in 14th position. And so as we look at the Hungarian Mojin in front of his home fans, of course, but he'll be disappointed so far with the result he's getting. And of course, as we look now at Kupok defending vigorously from Gamma, and Mackenzie is there as well, of course, from his one and only stop. So Mackenzie is in a legitimate battle here. I don't know actually if Kupok has to pit before the end or not, but the two McLarens are also going to be in the battle as well. Gamma going to try it on the inside of Kupok once again. I think Kupok locked up, and Kupok doesn't have to pit again, so this is a legitimate battle for P8, and obviously for P6 as well. The two McLarens are going to be going at it. So as we look at them come through, and De Rossi actually is pitting once more actually. I don't know if Tomaselli does have to pit or not again, but Gamma going to try and make a move on the inside of the sister Toro Rosso. Coming through the first corner there, but meanwhile we're still looking at Lopez, who at the moment is still leading, and at the moment is on a green lap. I don't know if he's actually going to beat it or set an even faster lap as he comes up towards the line, coming into the 114s, and I'm not sure, well no, he didn't clear that faster lap because it hasn't come up. Kupok once again still defending from Gamma, still just about side by side coming through turn 3 there. Mackenzie's still there as well. Meanwhile we're looking at Willows, who's now trying to lap the McLaren here. Byrne now trying to pass Chatfield for P4, but Chatfield has to pit anyway, so he doesn't need to necessarily try and pass Chatfield. I'm pretty sure he has to pit once more Chatfield. If he has already, then this is a battle, but no, I think That was Chetfield going into the pits right there. But we're looking at on my car, of course, is finally free of Evan Byrne, but I don't think he's going to be able to catch Willers. Willers, I think, has had the edge on him all day today. So only 9 laps to go this race. We've got Q-Puck still defending from Gamba in 7th, although he goes a little bit wide here. Does he keep the position still? Yes, he does. Chetfield, as I said, is in for his final stop of the race, and he's definitely going to come out, I think, ahead of this gaggle of cars, thanks to Q-Puck, who, of course, is holding them up. And so we're looking on board with Q-Puck as he comes around the final corner now and heads towards the first corner. Meanwhile, Lopez is going to come up actually to this gaggle of cars as well pretty soon. So Lopez, I'm pretty sure Lopez actually, because I'm pretty sure Willis is way behind. So I'm pretty sure Lopez has actually now lapped the entire field now. I'm pretty certain he has. So Viteri is in the pits for his final stop. So is Titkoff. Q-Puck still defending from Gamba and Mackenzie, who is there as well. Gamba still can't make it through. Mackenzie's going to be there to try and get it in. No, actually, Lopez has not quite lapped everybody. It still hasn't lapped Willows yet. But I reckon he can easily catch him before the end because he pitted after. So I think he could easily catch Willows and lap him. So we'll see. Willows coming up to lap the McLaren here. And I think I could just see very faintly in the background Lopez. So yeah, he could definitely catch him in 8 laps, that's for sure. Moichin is in the pits for his final stop of the race as well. For Racing Point, I don't think he's going to be able to get any points out of this race. No pun intended. So as we look at Q-Puck, who once again is still defending hard for Frank Gamba for 7th position. And they've got the McLaren back there as well, that although I think the McLaren actually might be lapping them, actually, I'm pretty sure. Actually, no, that's not the McLaren, I mean, that's De Rosser actually from his final stop. So De Rosser actually, who's just made his final stop, is actually going to try and, is on fresh tyres, so he's going to try and get past all of these guys if he can. Gamba now finally on the inside of Q-Puck, heading into the first corner. Is this the move done for Gamba? And yes, it is, and finally Q-Puck has been overtaken, and Gamba finally makes it through up into P7. Not sure if we'll catch Chatfield though, because Chatfield's way ahead as Q-Puck goes wide there. And De Rossa's there too as well. De Rossa will try and make a move. And Willis is there as well. There's almost contact as Mackenzie tried to get through there past Q-Puck. We've seen many drivers try it, and Mackenzie was definitely the closest to attempt it, that is for sure. And there was so nearly contact between the two, but fortunately there wasn't. But now Willows is right in the thick of this. And there's Lopez, and Lopez is there. So Lopez is surely going to lap Willows before the end of this race. As Willows is going to try and go around the outside of Mackenzie, coming onto the front straight here. That could give it a chance for De Rossi, who's going to swap to the inside and try and overtake Mackenzie into turn 1. This is for 9th, but Lopez is there as well. So what do they do? As Willows is now past Q-Puck, will De Rossi make the move for 9th? And the answer is yes. He passes Mackenzie for 9th, and now Lopez is there going to lap Mackenzie. Well, he'll try to at least. He's still there, but now we're looking at this battle once again. 4P9, De Rossi on the back of David Q-Puck as they head towards turn 2. He's on the inside. Oh, there's contact! And Q-Puck is wide, and De Rossi is through, and Q-Puck has lost his front wing. Q-Puck has lost his front wing. So there goes any chance he has of any points in this race. He'll be gutted about that. And I mean, he was on the inside, De Rossi, clearly alongside Q-Puck. And there was contact there, so I don't really know. I don't really think Q-Puck can really argue about that one. But here it is. This is Franco Lopez, who is about to lap Joseph Willows, and once he does, he will have lapped the entire field. Here it is, and Lopez passing Joseph Willows. No, that is not for the lead. That is to lap Joseph Willows, and so the entire field has been lapped by Franco Lopez. So on lap 3, he's taken the lead, and on lap 66, he has lapped everybody, or he's lapped Joseph Willows, but he's lapped everybody. I mean, that's not been done since about 2014, which I think was actually Mackenzie who did it then. But that's just quite an achievement. We have never seen this level of domination before, for a while. So fair play to Lopez. There's no doubt as to who is set to win this race, as there is, of course, David Q-Puck, who is rejoined in 12th, and going a little bit wide there, as he's now going to get lapped there by the Renault of Bern. So he's down 12th. He's not going to be able to get any points out of this race. So as we look at him coming through the bottom corner, so and actually Lean Campana, look at that! Lean Campana is in the points for Williams. Lean Campana might be able to get his first point of the season. Oh, and he's going to get more than 1 point because De Rossi is out. And Kirosima De Rossi, after his final stop, unfortunately is going to get nothing from this race. And his car looks like, I don't know if that's an accident. I mean, it could be from Mackenzie. We've seen a few close calls there, but Was it a mechanical failure or was it crash? No, it was a mechanical failure. It was a puncture. But DeRosa, maybe it was actually from that impact with Kupok. Might have damaged his tyre. So DeRosa, who was in 8th position, set to get some decent points. But unfortunately for DeRosa, he is going to get nothing at all. So Mackenzie now moves up into 8th. And so Campana, crucially, is going to get 2 points, it looks like. But we are now on the final lap of this race. And, well, I mean, I've said dominates enough times already. But what else can you say? It has been a total, utter beatdown on this race. I've never seen anything like this. Any kind of domination like this. I mean, I'd love to see the last race that was won by, I think it was Mackenzie, by Mackenzie lapping everyone else. I just don't think it's been clearly as dominant as this. I really don't. And Lopez, he started P5. Wasn't the best qualifying from him, unusually. But got up to P3 at the first corner. And a couple of laps later, took the lead past Carr and then past Willows. And he's never looked back from there. And of course, Lopez, who narrowly lost out on that victory in Germany. And of course, lost out on P2 with that error that he made with a couple of laps left. And he has certainly redeemed himself today. That is for sure. Franco Lopez coming round the final corner. And he is going to win the Hungarian Grand Prix and has lapped the entire field. Some achievement, that is. And no, the 6-second gap is not correct. It is Willows, that's how far he's behind, but he's been lapped. So Willows will take second place. He'll be very happy with that. Just said no. Well, no one had any answer to Franco Lopez today. Almar Carr will take third position. He'll be not to get P2, but P3 is still good. Nonetheless, Mackenzie is set to get 8th position. Lee Capana finally gets his first points of the season, gets 9th, and just beats Federi to 9th as well. He was right behind as they came across the line. That was a close battle. Maxime Titkov, the last car to finish this race in 14, but Evan Byrne as well. What a performance by Evan Byrne. He'll be very happy to take P4, his best result of the season. Behind him, Kupok misses out just on 11th position, just on the points, and he would have got points if not for DeRosa. Moichin 12th. Gabriel Gomez set to come across the line in 13th position. And so as we look at Gomez coming around the final corner, and here we go, as he's set to come around and take 13th, and he'll the unlucky number 13. Tomaselli, 5th position. He'll be pretty happy with that, although probably would want to get a bit higher. Chris Chatfield, 6th position. Very impressive performance once again by him. Here is the race results. Franco Lopez winning ahead of Joseph Willows in 2nd, Almar Carr 3rd, Evan Byrne 4th, Tomaselli in 5th, Chatfield 6th, a lap down, then the following guys 2 laps down. Franco Gamba, who's lapped twice unbelievably, Jay McKenzie, Lean Capana, first points of the season, and Andrea Federi completing the points in 10th. David Kupok just missing out on 11th, that damage late on. Moichin, Gomez, 2 laps down as well, Titkov 14th, and Dross still classified despite retiring, with Roque, Martinez, Sontag, Gal, Chung, Catalan, and Fosbury retiring. I will add as well that Lopez was nearly a second quicker than anyone else. Well, he was nearly a second quicker than Kupok, who was second fastest, but he was over a second quicker than Evan Byrne and Joseph Willows. Unbelievable pace. The only one to get the 114 as well, just ridiculous. And of course, in the championship, he extended his lead to almost 20 points ahead of Willows in 2nd, Gal falling a little bit behind in 3rd, Chung in 4th, Almar Carr moving ahead of Franco Gamba into 5th position, Thomas 7th, Catalan 8th. Looking at the rest of the order, movements in the order, Chatfield moving up to 14th, Link Capana moving ahead of Titkov into 20th with his first points of the season, Federi dropping positions as well. And Roberto Marcel is now so far the only driver this season yet to score a championship points. So in the constructors, meanwhile, Mercedes moving above Ferrari, 16 points into the lead. Red Bull still have a vague shout of getting the title. McLaren in 4th position, consolidating that. Racing Point just 2 points ahead of Toro Rosso. Renault moving ahead of Alfa Romeo into 7th. Haas in 9th. Williams moving further ahead of Mana in 10th. And the driver of the day was a joint vote between Lopez and Byrne. I think that is that's just totally fair. I think Lopez for utter domination, Byrne for a solid result in 4th position. So there we go. That was the Hungarian Grand Prix. I nearly got that wrong because I'm just still stunned at what I just witnessed from Franco Lopez. Thank you for watching, everybody. We'll see you for the next round of the Belgian Grand Prix at Spa. Don't forget to check out all the links in the description, our Twitter, join our Discord, check out our Wikia, and check out our Twitter. Thanks for watching, guys, and we'll see you later.